Welcome back to Vox Tales, the channel where we explore the world's most shocking conflicts, hidden truths, and the stories behind global events. Tonight's story is about 48 hours that shook the Middle East, pushed the world dangerously close to a global war. Because in late February 2026, a single military operation triggered a chain reaction no one could control. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This video is based on publicly reported events, news coverage, and geopolitical analysis. The purpose of this documentary is educational and informational. Viewer discretion is advised. February 28, 2026, just before dawn, explosions rocked Tehran. Within minutes, Iranian air defenses were scrambling to respond. Israeli fighter jets, supported by U.S. intelligence and carried out in close coordination with American military planners, Israel had launched an exceptionally large and meticulously synchronized aerial and missile campaign known as Operation Lion's Roar, a massive strike that hit dozens of strategic military, political, and infrastructure targets across Iran simultaneously. The offensive was designed to degrade Iran's leadership, missile forces, command and control capabilities, nuclear facilities, and other high-value assets in multiple cities, with precision and scale intended to overwhelm defenses and reshape the battlefield. Military bases were on high alert. Command centers bristled with activity, their operators monitoring every movement. Critical strategic infrastructure, from power grids to communication hubs, was being scrutinized like never before. Yet despite all these preparations, nothing could have prepared the world for the most shocking report, which would emerge just hours later, one that would send ripples of disbelief and fear across governments and civilians alike. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was reportedly killed in a targeted U.S.-Israel airstrike that struck key leadership compounds in Tehran, a development confirmed by Iranian state media and senior officials that marked the dramatic end of his nearly four-decade tenure as the country's highest authority. And in that very moment, the Middle East teetered on the edge of a crisis unlike anything the region had witnessed in decades. Tensions that had been simmering beneath the surface for years suddenly erupted, igniting a chain of events with the potential to reshape the geopolitical landscape. To truly understand how we arrived at this precarious point, and why the world now watches with bated breath, we need to look at the forces, decisions, and conflicts that converged to push the region to the brink. We need to go back years. Iran and Israel have been locked in a shadow war for decades. Cyber attacks, assassinations, proxy militias, and nuclear tensions. Israel has long accused Iran of developing nuclear weapons, a threat it considers existential. Iran denies those accusations, but continues expanding its missile and drone programs. And across the region, Iran supports armed groups like Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. For years, the conflict remained indirect, until now. 2026 operation targeted multiple cities across Iran, Tehran, Isfahan, Karaj.com, and Kermanshah. According to reports, the goal was to destroy Iran's military capabilities and leadership structure. But instead, it triggered something far bigger. Because within hours, Iran began preparing its retaliation. The next 48 hours would change everything. Within hours of the strike, Iran responded with a massive wave of missiles and drones. Targets included Israeli cities, U.S. military bases in the Gulf, strategic infrastructure across the region. Missiles lit up the night sky. Air defense systems scrambled to intercept the incoming barrage. At the same time, Iran-backed groups across the Middle East joined the fight. Hezbollah launched rockets from Lebanon, and suddenly, the conflict was spreading across borders. Israel quickly expanded its military response. Airstrikes hit Hezbollah positions in Lebanon. Cities were evacuated. Hundreds of thousands fled their homes as bombardments intensified. Meanwhile, Iran launched attacks targeting countries hosting U.S. bases. Drone strikes and missile attacks hit locations across the region. Analysts warned that the war could soon involve multiple nations. And suddenly, this was no longer just an Israel-Iran conflict, it was becoming a regional war. The conflict didn't just threaten the Middle East, it threatened the entire global economy. Because Iran moved to disrupt the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil routes. Nearly 20% of global oil supply passes through this narrow waterway. Shipping companies halted operations. Insurance costs skyrocketed. Energy markets panicked. and airlines began rerouting flights across the region. In just 2 days, the world economy felt the shock. World leaders scrambled to respond. Emergency meetings were held at the United Nations. Some countries supported Israel. Others condemned the strikes. Global powers warned that escalation could lead to a wider war. And behind closed doors, diplomats raced to stop the crisis from spiraling further. But the damage was already done, because in just 48 hours, the balance of power in the Middle East had changed forever. For decades, Iran and Israel fought in the shadows, but now they were confronting each other directly. Military analysts warned that the situation had entered the most dangerous phase in modern Middle Eastern history. A single mistake, single missile, could trigger a conflict far bigger than anyone imagined. Because when powerful nations go to war, the consequences rarely stay contained. The events of those 48 hours showed how quickly the world can change. One operation, one retaliation. And suddenly the world stood on the edge of another major war. History may one day remember those hours as the moment everything shifted, or the moment diplomacy managed to stop something far worse. Only time will tell. Thanks for watching Vox Tales. If you enjoyed this deep dive into global history and hidden conflicts, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the world's most important stories are often the ones happening right now. And here on Vox Tales, we tell the stories behind the headlines.